1990s, he won one of the top 20, top 20, a very, I would say, good defender and good theoretician, and very hard to beat. Board number 14, Prilligras Mircea, representing Romania, plays with woman grandmaster Bharti from India. Board number 15, one of the most talented young player in the world, Maksud Parham from Iran, the winner of Sharjah Masters this year. So soon all of these players will represent their country at the World Chess Olympiad in Georgia, Batumi. And board number 16, we have local grandmaster, the strongest grandmaster, UAE grandmaster, Salem. He plays with Indian grandmaster Sankalp Gupta. Board number 17, woman grandmaster Gomez Mary Ann plays with Adli Ahmed, very strong grandmaster, many times African champion and world under 20 champion representing Egypt. Board number 18, we have Constantin Lupulescu from Romania, plays with Hamidi Amir. All right, so soon we will have the moves on your screen. Yeah, you can see, I can see the comments. So yeah, Cheparinov is not Bulgarian anymore. So very sad news for a Bulgarian team and probably very good for Georgian team. Not so often we have the situation that chess players change their federations, but really nowadays Bulgarian federation is doing not so great, and another grandmaster, Bulgarian grandmaster, Kirill Georgiev, changed his federation too for Macedonia. Yeah, the organizers, the tournament is under the patronage of Sheikh Nahyan bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the chairman of Abu Dhabi Sport Council. And the Abu Dhabi Chess and Culture Club is organizing this tournament with Sport Council, with sponsors and supporters. So the Master Tournament is, we have couple of players playing from Abu Dhabi Chess Club. So actually there are two players I've mentioned already, but one more time. Board number 64, FIDE Master Al-Hossani Omran plays with Indian. And on board number 79, Sultan Al-Zabi plays with one more Indian player, Saravana Krishnan. So we'll follow close these two games. And also on board number 77, International Master Omar Noman from United Arab Emirates. He plays with Indian Panda Submit. All right, so we are waiting for the moves. We have a slight delay of the moves, and I hope soon the moves will come. Yeah. So on board, we'll follow live from the camera. Board number one, Le Quang Lem plays with black pieces. Oh, okay. We can follow the game. This position is very familiar to me. This is Caro-Kann defense. Actually, couple of years ago, maybe more, I played a very similar, maybe actually I don't remember exactly, maybe the same position with Grandmaster Lalit Babu from India. And here, as I know, white can get slightly better position by playing. Yeah, white's threat is bishop e3 or bishop b2, and black's moves here or playing b5, but not immediately, after maybe rook c8 move, trying to play for b5 idea, or d3, or d3. I don't know exactly what modern theory says, but as I remember, white can get here slight edge. Well, in my opinion, a little bit strange decision of Grandmaster Le Quang Lem. But anyway, the position is very complicated. So d3 is the move, d3 or maybe rook c8. Rook c8. See, black really needs the bishop from a7 to come into play. Otherwise, the pawn d4 will be lost. Okay, so bishop b2 is the threat, or bishop e3. And let's try. So d3, can black actually try to sacrifice a queen? Let's say black can play d3, and if white answer by bishop e3 or bishop d or bishop e3 or bishop b2, and black can simply takes on e2. So d takes e2, rook takes d8, rook takes d8. I don't know exactly if there is enough compensation for the queen. Okay, let's try other possibilities. What about the typical move here, f6, from French defense, trying to change the pawn e5? And if after e6, white takes the pawn on f6, queen takes f6, followed by rook d8, and maybe e5, black gets strong center. Yeah, interesting position actually. Yeah, probably the position is playable. Yeah, this is the board number 2. And we have the position from Sicilian defense, if I'm not mistaken, with g3. So neither variation, white choose the variation with g3, which is, I would say, not very popular nowadays, but okay, still possible. Still possible, and black is still thinking. All right, I believe that e5 is a choice here, or maybe g6. Actually, g6 is not possible because white will play typical move e5, breaking the center and attacking c6 pawn. So I would recommend here black to play first knight d7, taking e5 square under control, and preparing the move g6. Yeah, so knight d7. Well, looks a little bit weird because the position of the bishop on g4 is a little bit exposed to f3 or h3 move. Well, I don't know. Actually, honestly speaking, I like white's position, and I like white's position because there is a clear plan: making castle, playing for e5 break. And yeah, e5. Yeah, this is the move that I recommended first. So e5, white probably will castle. I don't know if there is other option. And typical plan to follow: h3 or knight a4, c4, b3, bishop a3, f3, rook d1. It's easy to play for white. And I don't know. I like white's idea, white's position, because it's really easy to play for white. So castle, or yeah, castle directly. I don't know. Probably no need to play h3 first. So castle followed by knight a4, c4, b3, bishop b2. So I would say that white is slightly better on this position. So you can, yeah, one more time, that you can follow you can follow the games and the position on. Yeah, this is back to the board number 1. And yeah, as I said, so black played d3. d3, still we are on theoretical ground, I would say. So no surprises. d3, and here I expected that white will play bishop e3. Bishop e3. If I'm not there is a Peter's Lico game, if I'm not mistaken. So after bishop e3, black can centralize the queen by playing queen to d5. Queen to d5. Yeah, d3 was played. And what about, let's say, the move? No, white should play bishop e3 or bishop f1. But bishop e3 looks, I don't know, looks more flexible. Or actually maybe bishop f1 is a good choice, because there is no queen d5. On queen d5 might follow knight e3. A double attack, attacking the queen and the bishop at the same time, and d3 pawn will fall. So this position is everything about the d pawn. If white manage to win this pawn, of course white's advantage will be big. Even let's say that white takes white change the pawn d3 for pawn e5 in some lines, still white can hope for slight edge because of very poor position of bishop on a7. But as I said, we are still on the theoretical ground, and of course both players are well prepared for the game, and we will see the novelty soon. So d3, and white is thinking to play bishop f1 or to delay this move by playing bishop e3, or maybe queen b3 actually is interesting move, with the simple idea to take the pawn. Queen b3. How to protect the pawn? How to protect the pawn? Well, maybe black is forced to sacrifice the queen. After queen b3, d takes e2, rook takes d8, rook takes d8. Very interesting position. White is a queen up for bishop and rook only, but e2 pawn is really very dangerous. So on the next couple of moves, the game can be decided. Yeah. So I don't know. So queen b3, bishop e3, or bishop f1, I can recommend the moves here. Board number 3. Board number 3. Wow. It's an end game. It's already an end game. And yeah, I cannot tell you exactly from which opening is this position. So I think black to play. Black to play. Well, honestly speaking, I don't see any big problems for black here. Black can play bishop b4. This is the first choice. Just attacking. Maybe black wants to take on c3 and damage the pawn structure. h6 actually, it's also not a bad move. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, black is doing fine here. Black is doing just fine. Okay, f takes e4, bishop takes f6, gf6, knight takes f4, f5. No problems. So Grandmaster Cheparinov plays this position with black pieces, and probably bishop. Yeah, we can see him, the fresh Georgian player, Grandmaster Ivan Cheparinov. Probably we know him as as a second of former world champion Veselin Topalov, and nowadays he represents Georgia. So bishop b4, I would recommend the move. But there is a big choice of moves. h6, knight a6 actually deserve attention to come to c5, weak square, and later on knight e6, knight d4, typical maneuver. Yeah, so these are the moves. If the candidates list is really big, starting with h6, bishop b4, knight a6, f takes e4, and even bishop e6 is not a bad move. f4, yeah, actually white to play, yeah, taking on f5. Sorry, from my angle I couldn't actually see who's to move. He takes f5, bishop f5, and white got e4 square for the knight, of course, and knight g2 e2. Knight g2 e2 is the move to play later on knight g3 and to occupy the square e4 by the knight. Castle long is also an option here, followed by bishop d3, trading the bishops, the white square's bishop, and trying to play for the same e4 square. And do not forget that e5 pawn is an isolated one, and white can organize the attack. But from the other hand, black's development is easy and simple. So knight b comes to d7, bishop to b4, centralizing the rook, rook to e8, and of course, if black managed to push e4, I see any real problems for black. But of course, probably Ivan Cheparino will try to achieve an advantage. Because yeah, this is the rules of open tournament. You need to try to play for a win, even with black pieces, if you want to compete for the podium. Yeah, this is board number 3. So white is thinking to play knight to e2. Yeah, back to the top board. Back to the top board, and white is still thinking. Really, if white doesn't know what to do, well, if white doesn't know what to do, then it's really white is, I would say, in a kind of a difficult situation, because natural looking move queen b3 might be bad because of d takes e2, sacrificing the queen. Okay, queen b3. What else? Yeah, bishop f1. Bishop f1 is the move if you want to avoid complications, but gives black a tempo, and black can start to centralize the pieces with center. Maybe even to play a5, trying to break the white's pawn chain on the queen side. So this is board number 4. This is board number 4, and we have a classical position from Tarrasch defense. I mean, this position can happen from many different move orders, and white actually here can play a very I would say standard maneuver, knight e2, knight from c3 to e2, allowing black to take on f3. After bishop takes f3, g takes f3, white get a g file, plus there is no more bishop's pair, and white can play laterally king to h1, rook to g1, with a very strong pressure on a big diagonal h8, a1. So knight e2 here is the move that I would recommend to play for white. Yeah, as I know, I mean, this is a typical maneuver, and okay, other move is just knight a2, knight a4, knight a4, or let's say h3. But knight e2 is the move. White is trying really to put some problems. To put some problems. All right. All right. So this is the modern Tarash opening. So Tarash opening. Yeah, this is the board number 1. Back to top board. This is the, and White is still thinking. White is still thinking. Yeah. So not an easy choice. So really, if you are not in your home preparation, if you are not in the book, then really you need a really a long thought to make a decision. So safe move here is bishop f1, the move that I recommend to play. The other two are really sharp, queen b3 or bishop e3. This is board number 5, I'm sorry. Grandmaster Vladimir Fedoseev plays with black pieces against international Grandmaster Ruth Padmini from India. Yeah, the position is closed, and probably this came from modern defense or Pirk defense. And White just played d5 and knight e7. So black here can choose two different setup, two different plans, or to play g6 and follow it by bishop g7 and castle knight e8 f5, typical king's defense plan, king's defense attack. Or black can play knight to g6, follow it by bishop e7, castle and knight e8 and f5, or knight f4 if White allows to play knight f4. And the other plan, which really I don't recommend to play it now, is the move c6 to attack the top of the pawn chain. Well, actually, maybe it's not so bad. Not so bad to play immediately c6, but after c6, bishop g5, I don't know. In my opinion, c6 is a little bit premature move. So I would recommend knight g6 or g6. g6 is the strongest continuation in my opinion. So we are back to the board number 1, and as I said, White played bishop f1, a safe choice. A safe choice, not to allow any queen sacrifice. But White lost a tempo. I don't know if black can use this one, but by playing f6 here or maybe a5. So black should use his slight development in slight development in a slight advantage in development. So f6 is the move here, or a5. Or maybe black cannot play, of course, queen d5, because after knight e3, black loses d3 pawn. All right, back to board number 2. Back to board number 2, yeah. Just one move played by White, castle. It's easy to predict this kind of moves because this is the first choice in the opening. So just complete your development, make castle, and then you start fight for the center. So after castle, black will play, of course, bishop e7, and in my opinion, knight a4 followed by c4, and b3 is the best setup, is the best way to play for an opening advantage. Yeah, it's a positional game here. There is no sharp variations or lines. Okay, so I hope soon we will have the moves and we can follow the games on chess24.com. We will switch to board number 1. Back to board number 1. Bishop f1. Well, I don't know if this move really came as a surprise for leading grandmaster, world leading grandmaster Le Quang Lem from Vietnam. Maybe he's just trying to find a way of to explore the advantage in development. So f6 is the move that I would recommend. Okay, the position is very sharp. The position is very sharp. On f6, maybe white can play knight d6, trying to change the bishop. Actually, the key piece on this position is, of course, bishop on f5, which protects the d3 pawn. So knight d6. Knight d6 actually allows knight takes e5, and still the pawn d3 is untouchable. Yeah, so f6 is the move, and maybe white can play bishop b2, trying to defend the strong outpost on e5. And of course, black wants to open the bishop on a7 by playing b6 or b5 or a5. And black will be perfectly fine with a strong counterplay. Okay, so Vietnamese grandmaster is still thinking, and soon we will have the moves and we can follow the variations on chess 24. Yeah, this is the position on our screen. All right. As I said, f6 is the move. F6 is the move. I don't know. Let's try to play something very sharp. What about the move a5? a6, a5. If b5, maybe knight goes to b4, protecting d3 pawn. Yeah, I think it's an interesting choice, trying to break the structure. So b5, a5, b5, and if b6, bishop b8. Yeah, the position on the position of the bishop on b8 looks a little bit weird, but it's temporarily, because bishop is attacking e5 pawn. Bishop is attacking e5 pawn. All right. Yeah. So this is, yeah, you can follow the games. You can follow the games on chess 24. Chess 24, we have the games only from the camera, but soon we can see the games and variations on chess 24 screen. So yeah, d3 was played, and really it's interesting position. Okay, what about the move here? Yeah, bishop after d3, bishop f1. Black can start think about the move f6. f6. Yeah, here is you can see the playing hall. Grandmaster Tigran Petrosyan from Armenia is playing with black pieces, but he looks that he's more interested about other games. Grandmaster Dubov and Grandmaster Amin Bassem is playing the game. Yeah, back to the board, to the top board. So after bishop f1, really not an. Yeah, black needs time. Black needs time to make a choice. So I don't know. Maybe black can play. Let's say, what about the move knight d4? Knight d4 here looks very tempting, because knight d4, if knight takes d4, queen takes d4 is a kind of double attack. The knight on c4 is under attack, and the rook on a1. I don't know. It's not easy to defend everything. It's not easy. By the way, white can play very tricky here after one more time. So knight d4, knight takes d4, queen takes d4, and queen b3. And if black takes the rook on e1, white can play bishop b2 and trap the queen. Okay, actually it's not exactly trapping because black gives the queen for two rooks. Queen takes d1, queen takes d1, queen takes d1, but I think soon the pawn d3 will fall, and white gets advantage here. All right, very interesting position. Very interesting position with after bishop f1. So black can choose between knight d4, f6, I don't know, and a5. Yeah, by the way, we didn't check the move. We didn't check the move a5. a5 trying to break the structure, and if b5, knight comes to b4. Knight comes to b4, very sharp position, and if b6, bishop goes to b8, attacking the pawn e5, and now d4, d3 pawn, I would say, is a very strong one. Very strong one. Yeah, so everything is about d3 pawn. If black managed to consolidate, to defend the pawn, then black's position is really fantastic. So with black, all black's pieces are playing, and d3 pawn cut the board, cut the white's army into two sides. But if white managed to win this pawn, of course, white will get a big advantage, and d6 square, d6 is a nice outpost for the knight, and also b6. So bishop f1, black is still thinking, really black needs time. Black needs time to make a choice. Yeah, I would recommend the move a5. I would recommend the move a5 probably because of it's the most sharpest move, and destroying the white's b4 and c5 pawns chain. I don't know. Of course, white cannot play a3 because then after a3, pawn takes b4, pawn takes b4. Black can start thinking about sacrificing on c5. Anyway, this is not a position. I mean, the queen is on a4 is hanging in many lines. Okay, so one more time, a5, b5, and knight b4. Knight b4. Knight b4. Interesting position. Interesting position. Okay. We expect here the, yeah, now we can see the game on our on the screen, and we can play some variations. So this is the position after bishop f1. Yeah, this is the playing hall. Grandmaster Daniil Dubov plays with white pieces. Yeah. Okay, let's see the game. Let's see the game of Grandmaster Dubov. Grandmaster Dubov, board number 6. He plays with white pieces with Ahmad Al-Khatib. Let's see from the beginning. Let's see from the beginning. Knight f3, g6, e4, c5, c3. A Lapin variation against with bishop g7, bishop c4. Well. Usually white plays here d4. Actually, I don't see any. Yeah, d4 is the main move here, but the move played by Russian Grandmaster bishop c4. Okay, it's a good move, but I don't know. e6, castle, knight e7, and d4 now. d4. Let's try to understand what is the d5. Of course, this is the natural reaction to stop white's advancing d pawn. d5, bishop b5 check. Yeah, white is, of course, e takes d5 allows white allows black to take by knight and to play against isolated d4 pawn. So bishop b5 intermediate move, bishop d7 taking an e5. White got space advantage. E5 pawn is a very strong one. But now black changed the white square's bishop, which usually allows black to have a counterplay. So bishop g5. Okay, black's to move. So there is a two different approach playing this position. First one is to playing on the open c file. Let's say by playing rook f to c8, followed by knight a5, knight c4, advancing the pawns on the queen side. But this plan allows white to play on the king side by playing maybe h4. Let's say knight a5, h5, which gives white initiative on the king side. And the other plan is to play, I don't know, first knight f5, followed by the move f6, trying to organize a counterplay against d4 pawn. Let's say after queen d2, f6, e takes f6, bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, knight takes f6, rook takes f6. It's a typical, I would say, French structure. White got e5 square and e6 pawn is backwarded, and white can organize the attack against this pawn, like followed by rook e1, rook e2, doubling the rooks, and knight e5 later. Black can play against isolated d4 pawn by bringing the queen to g7 and rook to f8, the other rook a to f8, and if white allows to, let's say, to sacrifice the rook on c3, black's position is black gets enough counterplay. Yeah, so this is the two different plans. So bishop g5, and here black to move, and after bishop g5 black can choose between f6 or knight f5 and then f6, or rook c8 playing against the d4 pawn. Maybe black can play a risky plan, followed by, starting with h6, and if bishop moves, probably white should move the bishop to f4 or to e3, because if bishop to h4, of course black will play knight f5 and take the bishop. And if bishop e3, actually after bishop e3, knight f5, same idea, attacking the bishop. On where to move the bishop. Very interesting looks bishop f6 move, sorry. And if bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, pawn takes f6, knight f5. And it's everything about if white managed to keep the f6 pawn. So let's say knight e5, queen d8. I don't know. So if white managed to keep this pawn, then I would say that black's king's position is very dangerous. But if black managed to take this pawn, of course black will be just a simple pawn up. Yeah, and d4 pawn is hanging too. Yeah, not an easy choice. So h6 is the move, just asking the bishop where to move the bishop. So bishop e3, knight f5, bishop f4, same knight, or g5. Actually, I was thinking maybe black can play risky g5, and on bishop e3 or bishop g3, just play knight f5 and capture the bishop. And if bishop d2, same knight f5, attacking d4 pawn, and if knight e2, f6. Yeah, this is the better version of attacking the top of the white's chain. In my opinion, very good position for black. Well, interesting. Yeah. So here I would recommend black to play f6. After bishop g5, black is down to 54 minutes, and of course f6 is the choice here, is the move here. Okay, let's go back to the board number one. Board number one, after bishop f1, black is still thinking. Black is still thinking, not an easy choice. So as I understand, bishop f1 move came as a surprise for Grandmaster Le Quanglem. All right, let's go to board number two. Board number two, Richard Rapport plays with FIDE master from Jordan, Samhouri Amir. Yeah, so back to the from the opening. Back to the opening. E4, c5, knight c3, a6, knight e2. Yeah, but from this move order transposing to Najdorf with g3 variation and e5 castle. Yeah, black is still thinking. As I said, bishop e7 is the natural move here, and knight a4 is my recommendation for white. Knight a4, castle short, c4, followed by move b3, bishop a3 or bishop e3, h3 or f3, rook d1, rook c1. An easy play for white, and really black needs to find something against this plan. Maybe, I don't know. Of course, black can arrange the pieces like knight d7, queen c7, rook d8, bishop e6, and trying to play for d5 idea. So if black managed to play d5 and changing d6 and c6 pawns for c4 and e4, yeah, we can see Grandmaster Amin Bassem from Egypt, the winner of 2017 edition. He plays with black pieces against Chinese player Zhu Yufan. So from the beginning, we can see a young player from China. Yeah, we can see the chess legend, Nigel Short. Well, I hope he will be a chess player, not a FIDE president, because really chess world needs chess players. Okay, so back to the game. Black to the game. Board number one. Le Quanglem made his choice. So after bishop f1, knight d4, one of the move which I recommended, but okay. So after knight takes d4, queen takes d4, I recommended the move queen b3, trying to actually defending the knight c4 and the rook, and indirectly defending the rook on a1. If after queen takes a1, bishop b2, queen takes d1, queen takes d1, well, it's really hard to understand who's better here. But as I see, rook d8, knight d6, and white wins d3 pawn. So if white managed to take the d3 pawn, of course white is clearly better. I would say big advantage. Did Vietnamese Grandmaster missed this idea? Queen b3. Okay, from the other hand, black can just take the pawn on e5. Knight takes e5, knight takes e5, queen takes e5, and bishop b2. Yeah, this is the view from the playing hall. from the playing hall. Grandmaster Fedoseev plays with black pieces. Yeah, this is the position. This is the position, and after queen takes b2, white of course plays an intermediate move here, bishop b2. Queen goes to, well, I don't know where to go. Let's say to f4, and bishop takes d3. Grandmaster Fedoseev, let's go to his game. He plays on board number 5 against Padmini Root, international master and woman grandmaster from India. Yeah, actually, I did recommend the move c6, but you know, somehow I wasn't sure about the consequences of this move. So c6 and bishop g5. Yeah, back to board number 4. Back to board number 4. Grandmaster Van Hao played my move knight e2. Played the move knight e2. Okay, for a top grandmaster, 2-7, it's not something difficult to play knight e2 to allow black to take on f3. So as I said, after bishop takes f3, pawn takes f3, white gets the g file. So let's say after the c6 pawn now is hanging, after rook c8, king h1, followed by rook g1, knight d4, knight f5, or queen d4, or doubling the rooks on g file, white gets very nice attacking prospects. And black, after the move knight e2, black didn't take the knight. So knight e2, rook c8, rook c8, rook c8. Interesting move, interesting move. So let's say after knight g3, I would recommend the move knight g3. White wants to play h3 move and to ask the bishop. And if black plays knight e4, actually, which is a bad move, white can play typical move knight takes e4, pawn takes e4, and queen d4. A double attack, attacking g7, mate in 1, and e4 pawn. And white gets, well, if not winning, but big advantage. So there is no knight e4. There is no knight e4, and next move, white will play h3. In my opinion, white but slight h. We can see Grandmaster Constantin Lupulescu from Romania. Grandmaster Constantin Lupulescu, board number 18, plays with white pieces against FIDE master Hamidi Amir. Yeah, this is the current position. This is the current position. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is the French defense. French defense. And white got a typical, I would say, advantage in French defense. A nice outpost on a d4. So knight is on d4, well protected. Knight is on a4, is a little bit out of the play. And the last move is bishop d3, bringing the bishop on yeah, after c3, black played, yeah, this is the current position. So we have a slight delay of the moves in our screen. So after c3, black played bishop e7, if I'm not mistaken, and bishop d3. Bishop goes to a very nice attacking diagonal b1 h7. So now it's really dangerous to castle, because bishop takes h7 might follow in a yeah. Now we see the position board number 16. Board number 16. Grandmaster Salim plays with white pieces against young player from India, Sankalp Gupta, rated 2,304 only. But everyone knows that how Indian players are dangerous. And this is the current position. It was a Queen's Indian. Let's see a little bit from the beginning. White got bishop's pair. Yeah, this was bishop b4 check and Queen's Indian, Bogo Indian. Yeah, this is the current position. Okay. So black just doubled the rooks on the f file because white's plan is okay. Actually, white can play two different ideas here, or playing e4, or trying to put the bishop on c3 and playing for f4 idea. I'm playing for f4 idea. Grandmaster Salem is concentrated. Recently, he finished a tournament in Switzerland, in Biel. Actually, he did quite well there, sharing the third place. And one more provocation, one more tournament is the Abu Dhabi Chess Festival. This tournament he plays every year, and this year he will try to, of course, to win the master tournament. So rook f8, rook f8. Yeah, back to board number one, back to board number one, and back to board number one. And after knight d4, knight takes d4, queen takes d4, and queen d3. All right, all right. So as I predicted, queen b3 is the move. I don't believe, really I don't believe that Grandmaster Le Quanglin missed this idea. So white player looks very self-confident. So queen b3, and here there is a choice, or to take knight takes e5, or queen takes the rook on a1. All right, one more time for the players, just to show the variation. After queen takes a1, bishop b2, no way to escape with the queen, so queen takes d1, queen takes d1. So usually two rooks are stronger than a queen, but not always, and this position is probably an exception because d3 pawn is under attack, and probably the pawn will be lost soon, because on any rook move like rook d8, rook a d8, or rook f d8, white will play knight d6, nice outpost, attacking f5 pawn and attacking d3 pawn. Yeah, so no, none of these moves. Wow. Okay, after queen b3, black played bishop g4. Bishop g4. Is this really played? So black sacrificed the pawn. Ah no, actually, sorry. White cannot take on d3 because now the rook is lost. Interesting idea. Interesting idea. As I see, white is forced to sacrifice the exchange. But you know, actually, I'll prefer white position. Let's say after bishop e3, bishop takes d1, rook takes d1, queen goes to h4, because otherwise the queen will be under attack. So let's say after queen e4, white capture the pawn d3 by tempo. On any other move except queen h4, let's say queen d5 or queen d6, rook takes d3 comes with tempo. So after queen h4, rook takes d3. White sacrificed an exchange, but you know, white got very, I would say, very good compensation. Very good compensation. Bishop's pair, one pawn, bishop's pair, and very nice outpost on d3. Yeah. So really, in my opinion, the black's choice, I mean Le Quanglin's choice, is not the best one. So bishop g4, and white is thinking. So bishop e3 or bishop b2. This is the choice. Bishop to e3. No, bishop to b2. Bishop to b2. Okay, so it's similar idea. Bishop takes d1. Rook takes d1. Actually, bishop on d2 just overprotect the pawn on e5 but okay, I don't know if f4 square is important now. So maybe black can play queen g4, and after, let's say, rook d3, the knight can nice tactical uh, pawns move, but really, in my opinion, black didn't solve all his problems. So e4, and here I would recommend for white just f takes e4, f takes e4, and bishop to e2, and still I don't know. White is clearly better in my opinion. All right. So here are our studio, and let's go back to the top board. Board number 1, Grandmaster Le Quang Lem from Vietnam. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest in our studio, Grandmaster Konstantin Landa from Russia, who is the current United Arab Emirates main team coach. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Yeah. Can you share with us some first impression of the first round of this tournament, Master Tournament?
I'm first time here. I see the fantastic organization. It's fantastic tournament hall, and okay, the players have a good condition for playing. And I saw many interesting and very impressive games. Especially the young generation play now well and preparing the new ideas in the chess. So we are following the games, and maybe we'll teach from the young guys.
Yeah. So can you share us about your students, about the games of your students, and is this tournament maybe a part of preparation for the Olympiad, and about this preparation for the team? So can you share us some?
Yeah, okay. It's not so special secret what Olympiad in Batumi coming soon, and we are preparing for this Olympiad, and we are trying to improve skills of our players in our team. It's part of preparation, of course, and we are going to see how the players are ready for the playing in such big events like Olympiad.
And who is playing from the men team in this event and Masters tournament?
So from my team is Saleh Salem playing, and Omar Omar playing, and also two young guys, very perspective guys, Omran and Ibrahim Sultan playing as well, and maybe we are also playing in the team. So 4 players, and we will see, yeah, what result they can show. I hope we will show the good result in this tournament.
All right, this is the current position in Grandmaster Salem's game. So young Indian player just played the move e4. The move e4. It was a typical Bogo Nimzo Indian defense, and the last move was e4.
Black is looking for counterplay. Yeah, if black is doing nothing, when white is penetrate on the a file, it will be the big problem for black. Black is trying to break through somewhere in the center. Now I think it's already played. Yeah.
Bishop e2. Actually, my recommendation was just to take on e4 instead of playing bishop e2. Take on bishop e2 now. And the monster bishop comes to c3. I don't know.
Yeah.
But okay, Grandmaster Salem played bishop e2 at once. And young Indian. Do you know, by the way, him?
Yes, I know him. Yeah, I know this guy.
How old is he?
So I cannot say the exact age of this guy, but okay, it's around 20 something, I guess.
More than 20.
As I remember, as I right remember, yeah.
He's 12 to 13 years old.
No, he's not 12. No.
All right. So he takes f3, and what do you think, Konstantin? White, there is a choice of taking by pawn, by bishop, or by rook. What do you prefer?
So I don't know actually. Yeah, I think bishop on e2 was a little bit strange for me as well. So probably white should to take on e4, f takes e4, and get in the such position what we are.
And now what to do after e takes f3? What do
No,
you think?
g take, yeah, taken by pawn, maybe.
No?
Maybe, yeah.
Because black can play rook h6 and trying to organize the attack against white's king, followed by knight e5. Maybe breaking the structure by b5.
Yes, typical b5 move, yeah.
What about b5 here? What about
don't know. It looks also interesting. Yeah, we have to count b5. I don't think what white can take on d5 and after on c7. It looks terrible. Yeah, yeah. Then takes c7. Yeah. Engine is confirming what white is better, but from the human point of view, king can come.
Start playing, I don't know, rook h6 or rook g6 check or queen h5.
Queen h5 is yes.
Sacrificing.
Yeah, maybe it's not so bad, but sacrificing when rook on g6 check on queen h3. How? When rook on f2, when white has
Okay, let's show
protection.
So queen h5, queen takes d7, rook g6 check, king h1, queen h3.
When white has the rook f2 and
rook f2, yeah, and there is nothing. Simply there is nothing. Okay, so b5. I don't know. Maybe knight e5 now instead of giving the pawn c7. Yeah, interesting position in my opinion. I don't know. So taking still taking by pawn is your recommendation.
Yeah, actually it was your idea, but now if you want, I can recommend as well. Yeah.
Okay, what about taking by bishop?
Yeah, taking by bishop looks more natural, but maybe white has nothing. Yeah,
knight comes to e5 tempo.
Knight comes on e5. Yeah, knight comes on e5.
Bishop c3. What do you think? To get a position with opposite colored bishops. And if knight takes to f3, rook takes f3. Now I can play against g7 pawn or f5 pawn.
No,
g6,
okay.
rook f1. Followed by e4. Probably white got.
No, black is not forced to take immediately on e5. Black can on f3. Sorry, on f3. Black can play rook e8.
Just rook e8.
Yeah.
And now maybe penetration to the.
Yes, penetration. Okay. Bishop on c8.
Okay, knight takes c4 is not a threat, or maybe it is a threat. C3. I don't know. White is better in my opinion. But just by simple move, let's say retreat bishop to e2. c4 pawn now is defended. There is no real counterplay.
Yeah, two bishops. Computers really love two bishops. But I don't know. Black looks also quite solid.
Solid. Okay. Okay. So this is the current positions. After e takes f3. Yeah, there is a choice to make. So taking by pawn, taking by bishop, or taking by rook even. Or just not. This allows to come knight e5 by tempo. So taking by bishop or taking by pawn. Let's move to the other UAE players. Omar Noman, board number 77. Board number 77. This is the current position. Well. Do you know from which opening?
It's London system.
Yeah, London system. Yeah. Okay. So queen b6 and taking b2 pawn.
Yeah, it's a very fashion line.
All right. First time I see this position in my life. And queen d3. Yeah.
Queen d3.
The first question is, can black take the pawn on c5? So queen takes c5.
Queen takes c5 is your opinion, and after c4 white has a stolen check.
C4, probably followed by queen a4, rook c1,
yes,
knight b3.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So there is no time to take the pawn. So after black played bishop e7, knight b3, castle, queen d3.
Yeah, okay. In this position, the most logical move, knight on e4. Yeah, I don't see.
Yeah, knight e4.
If not refutation here.
Oh, looks very good because now maybe c5 pawn is hanging. So black wants to take on d3 and take on c5. Can white play, let's say, prophylactic move like rook f to c1 and defending the c5 pawn indirectly, of course? Okay, not the best move according to engine, yeah, but we are humans, we are not following the computer's advices, so...
No, probably I know why it's not possible to play like this. Probably black has e5 move.
e5, wow.
Oh, no?
Wow.
No, it's mistake, sorry.
And if bishop takes pawn, bishop takes knight?
Yeah, bishop takes knight, yeah.
And the pawn e5 is... Yeah,
right.
bishop takes d5.
Not right, yeah.
Alright, so this is the position, and let's go to the other UAE players. Omran Al Hossani.
Rook f1, knight on d4.
Okay.
These answers.
Soon we will be back.
Knight on d4, right.
Soon we will be back to the to the game of Omar Noman. And just I want to see the game of Omran, a player from Abu Dhabi Chess Club.
He's local player, yeah?
A local player, yeah.
Young and talented player.
Yeah, my student, by the way. So this was the anti Grunfeld with rook d1, knight c6, d5. So, Konstantin, you are the big theoretician. So please share some thoughts, some ideas about this position.
Okay,
because in my opinion, first time I see this position.
Yeah, okay, me too. Rook f4 on c1.
Bishop
c4 on f4 on c1. So
wow.
White has no advantage, yeah, after such moves.
So bishop goes back to c1.
Yes.
So what was wrong with the move b3? b3, maybe knight a3, yeah?
Knight s3.
Knight a3, queen c1. Queen c1, and what the knight on a3 is doing? I don't know. Knight a3.
Maybe bishop on f5.
Bishop on f5, organizing, yeah, some... And if e4...
So probably I can take on c6.
Bishop takes c3, queen takes c3, bishop to e4, and checkmate.
Okay, it's not a checkmate yet, it's just...
Okay, an attempt, but I don't know. Just winning an exchange. Winning an exchange.
Yes, winning an exchange, but knight can come on c2 with check, yeah?
Yeah, first knight c2 check, king d2. Let's make artificial castle. Or I don't know what. Yeah, and f6.
Now I can play
Yeah.
f6, yeah.
Yeah, the position is really very complicated. Bishop takes f8.
But anyway, I prefer black.
Black, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
Black.
Okay, my next move is king c1. I don't know.
I will take the second pawn on the 5-1 moment, so it's most probably okay. It's complex.
Unclear. Yeah, so bishop c1 is the move, and bishop g4. Bishop g4. Okay, logical move.
Yeah, black has to develop the bishop.
Yeah, completing the development, and maybe rook c8 and c6, or queen c8 and c6, or e6.
Black is doing good, yeah.
Yeah, so b3, just knight to
On
d6, yeah, followed by c6 or e6. All right, so black is doing fine, but not very good on chess clock. So down to 39 minutes. Back to board number one. Back to board number one. Back to board number one. And yeah, this was the position. Rook takes d1. Queen g4. I'm sorry. Yeah, bishop d1. Rook d1. Yeah, can we have the... Yeah, this is the current position. Queen g4. Rook d3. And black didn't play knight f4. This was my recommendation. Move knight d4. Instead, black played rook to d8.
Okay, d8.
Knight d6 and rook d7. I don't know. white looks, I don't know, full compensation, maybe more than.
Yeah.
Because of bishop's pair, very nice knight on d6, outpost, I don't know, the queen on g4 is not very stable, so white can anytime can play rook g3.
Yeah, white has a full compensation, maybe white is simple better in this position.
Okay, let's try to develop the initiative. Rook comes to g3. Where to move the queen? To h4 or to f4? Or to f5? To h5, sorry.
Okay, let's say queen h4.
Queen h4. So black wants to play b6 maybe. Let's continue with prophylactics like queen e3, bringing the queen to the king side. Ah no, b4
Okay,
pawn is
b4,
followed.
yeah.
Sorry, it was just a blunder. Just a blunder. So okay, how to continue? How to continue the initiative? Maybe white needs g4 square. Can white play the move g3 here? h3, sorry, with rook g4 idea, and later queen g3, and maybe move the king to h1, f4.
Okay, you talked about b6 move in this position.
Yeah, let's try. But if white plays c6 here, and rook c7, b5, the bishop a7 is crying. I think the bishop is crying. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would say that game is over, but maybe
it's
still not.
very, very bad, yeah.
Yeah, not that simple. So h3, yeah, rook g3, queen h4, and h3. Oh, sorry, and the move h3, which is a kind of useful move, prophylactic, and rook g4 is a threat, followed by queen g3. I don't know. A really strange choice of Grandmaster Le Quan Le.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
so-
under big pressure.
yeah. All right. Let's move to board number 2. Board number 2. Grandmaster Richard Rapport. Yeah. He played the plan with knight to a4 and c4. Typical.
Typical plan,
Yeah.
white is slightly better, I guess.
Yeah. Back to board number 1. Back to board number 1, and white is still thinking. After rook d7, okay, there is a big choice of moves. Rook g3, as we mentioned maybe h3 immediately. Maybe white just can trying to improve the bishop's position, maybe playing bishop d4 there. Just defending c5 and e5 pawns. Yeah. Very, very nice position for white. Yeah, board number 2. Board number 2. So the bishop, yeah, white played b3. Yeah, queen to c7. Yeah, this is the current position, b3. Rook to d8. Bishop b2, bishop e6, and f4.
Pawn on c2,
Yeah,
still
yeah.
on c2.
Pawn is on c2, so without c4.
King on h1.
Yeah,
Right,
so
king to
instead of c4, white played b3, queen c7, bishop b2, rook d8, king h1.
Oh, first you played f4.
Sorry,
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
yeah. So f4 first, just not allow the move d5, bishop e6, and king h1. And king h1. I don't know. Black should try to break the center with d5. Maybe it doesn't work, but
White can take on e5 with bishop.
bishop takes e5, and I don't know, move the queen to a7. To a7. This is the way how to play Sicilian, or maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. So if black managed to open the long diagonal, I don't know. Maybe black can get some counter chances. But okay, pawn is a pawn. So King h1, okay, d5. And what about just taking on f4 first? G takes f4 and d5 now. No need for strong measures. So d5, e5, knight e4.
Probably white can push e5, f5.
And f5, yeah? And as we say here in UAE, yalla. Let's go for attack. f5 and then f6. Yeah. Yeah, white's initiative on the king side looks very strong. Okay, so what to do? What to do? Otherwise f5 is coming. f5 is coming. So one more time, e takes f4, g takes f4. Is there any choice? Any moves except d5? I don't know. What do you think?
I think white is better, yeah. Okay,
White is better, yeah?
It's in the worst position, black can try something, but if you follow the best choices for both sides, okay, in the end you'll get in any time the better position for white.
Yeah, especially now the queen can come to g3 and rook to g1, organizing the attack against g7 pawn. Yeah, so white is clearly better. Alright, let's move to other interesting games. Yeah, Grandmaster Cheparinov, board number 3, plays with FIDE master actually from Azerbaijan, Aliyev Ravan. Aliyev Ravan. It's an end game. It's an end game. Well. So c5 is the last move played by white. White got d6 square plus bishop can come to c4. Bishop can come to c4, and after c4, follow with rook a to d8.
It's already happened.
Bishop c4, yeah, knight f4, and rook e1. Rook e1. I don't know. h3, h2, f3 pawns looks very I don't know. So can black play here? Maybe just rook e8. Maybe just rook e8 here move. Or rook d4. Rook d4 looks a little bit risky. I don't know. What do you think about move rook d4?
Looks interesting.
Interesting. And if rook takes rook?
I don't know if black need to change the structure like this. Rook takes rook.
And maybe there is a check actually. I don't know.
Check.
And if king d8, rook takes b7.
Yeah, rook takes b7.
So this is probably the reason of rook d4 move. Okay, so rook takes d1 or rook e8. Maybe rook takes d1 first.
Rook takes d1 and ask white how we can take on.
Yeah. So if the knight takes, then rook e8. Pawn h3 is under attack.
It's actually not so easy to protect this pawn.
And if white plays h4, knight goes to g2.
Knight
Yeah?
g2 and take the pawn.
Yeah, rook goes somewhere. Yeah, taking the h4 pawn. Yeah, so black probably is better here. Yeah, this is the current position. This is the current position, and rook takes d1 is probably
It's correct move.
yeah. Okay, let's move to board number 4. Board number 4. Grandmaster Van Hao plays with Indian. So everyone is playing today with Indian player. Okay, so after
It's not big surprise, I guess.
yeah, half of the participants in master tournament are Indians. So after knight e2, rook c8, knight e5, queen e8, taking on g4, h3, knight e5. Yeah, this is the current. No, this is not the current position. What happened after e4? E4.
He used his position of bishop on d6.
Hang on. Black lost a pawn. I don't really understand. Knight g6 and white took on d5. It's a pawn up.
Yeah, probably black has to give the pawn take on d5, rook takes 8, queen takes 8, queen takes d5, and rook d8.
Is there any real compensation for the pawn? What do you think?
Actually not. Probably some initiative for the pawn, but not so big initiative.
If queen f3,
White.
and actually on
Queen on c2.
queen c2 I have queen c3,
Yeah. Okay.
and trading the queens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no real compensation. No real compensation. So Grandmaster Van Hao is a pawn up.
But still many things to do. Yeah, it is a technical position, but technique should be shown.
Yeah, so e takes d5 and black.
Black is thinking.
Yeah. Let's go to other games. Board number 5. Board number 5. Board number 5. Padmini Root from India, Grandmaster, woman Grandmaster, and man international master. Plays with white pieces against one of the top grandmasters of our tournament, Fedoseev Vladimir from Russia. Who?
We played very interesting opening.
Yeah, let's see from the beginning, because we didn't.
How to play against the good prepared opponent with black pieces. Yeah, he found the way to play b6, knight f6, and unusual move knight c6 and e5, and got very complex. And I know for opponent and on position. It's a way how you can
h6. Wow.
make the chess complicated.
All right. So
Knight on
92.
h5, yeah. So two bishops, structure like in
Rouser or Sveshnikov, yeah.
Sveshnikov, Rouser variation, yeah. White picks two bishops, but there's a strong two bishops.
Yeah, especially the black squares one. So
Yeah.
bishop comes to the h5 was played with the idea to bring the bishop to h6 and to control this diagonal. If bishop reached to e3 square, really white king will be in a very poor position.
Mm-hmm. So we are both prefer the black position, I guess.
Yeah, most probably, because knight on a4 is not doing very much on a4. Maybe okay, white, I don't know, if I try to open up the position with c3 and bringing my knight back into play, at least, I don't know.
So probably I have to prevent with a5.
Just a5, yeah? Leave the knight there, a5. And if I'll try to attack the b4 pawn, just c takes b4, a takes b4, and queen d2.
I can protect. Rook on b8.
Rook on b8. Rook on b8. Yeah, and the still knight is out of play, and bishop h6 is coming. All right. Well, anyway, still the position is sharp. I mean, after castle, bishop h6,
I already
f4.
played some moves. You can
Yeah,
see
actually.
the actual position.
Yeah. So white didn't play h3 move. White started with queen d2, rook b8,
g3.
or f4. I don't know what was the move order.
Okay, let's see.
f4, bishop h6, g3, and knight g6. Yeah, this is the current position. This is the current position, and well, actually
Bishop
no.
on c4.
Bishop moved to c4.
Yeah, this one.
I really don't understand this move.
Maybe we mix with move order. Maybe we should
Yeah,
play it
right.
before.
Yes.
Bishop on c4 at this position.
And you know
Maybe.
what? Probably white was afraid of bishop d7 and queen a5. And,
Yeah,
the knight is lost.
Knight
Yeah.
on a4. It's clear.
Yeah, so bishop to c4.
White is going to play b3 one moment and bring knight
to b2, yeah,
B2.
into the game. So b3 is white idea, white plan, and knight b2, and maybe knight d3 or knight c4. Can black start pushing on the king side, h4 here? h4 and following by bishop to g4 maybe, or queen a5 first.
Yeah, black has plenty of possibilities, no doubt. So h4. Okay. Probably I have to make a long castle.
Yeah. Actually, this was my idea, just to be brave. Maybe it's no time to. And if bishop to d7.
Bishop on d7, I can give his knight, yeah, b3.
b3. And if queen a5?
Yeah, you can win this pawn, but I can get a white square bishop after that. What will be the good compensation probably?
Yes, I do agree. Okay, yeah, this is the playing hall, and let's go to others United Arab Emirates players.
Sultan Ibrahim.
Yeah, Sultan Ibrahim, board number, plays with black pieces.
With black, he's playing with black.
Black pieces, board number 62. Board number 62. He plays with Indian international master Akash. So from the beginning it was a French defense with b6. Yeah. So,
Yes.
Constant, tell me the secret. Still in home preparation?
No, of course not. Queen takes on a5 was the wrong way already.
Sorry?
Queen goes on a5.
Queen a5.
Was the wrong way.
Yeah.
So black need this queen to protect the king.
Right, to stay closer to the king,
Yeah.
because otherwise, really, white's initiative is very strong.
Sometimes it's brave moves. It's not correct.
So queen a5 and queen f4. Now the king is really in a big danger. f5 and g4.
Yeah, black count only on bishop take f8 before g4 and knight takes f8, g4, knight g6.
But of course, bishop h6 bishop is stronger than the rook.
Stronger than the rook, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes, yes, and okay.
Checkmate is coming. I don't know. So, yeah, this is not the way how to play French.
Yeah, queen a5 was incorrect.
Wow. Yeah, it's clear that the queen should stay on d8 and trying to protect the king. And the rook g1, white is just simply wants to take on f5.
Before f5 move, can you?
Yeah, one more time from the beginning.
G takes, okay, d5, f takes, f6 takes, bishop h6. Now
No.
f takes, e5, okay. And,
Yeah, this is the position.
Yes,
So what about knight c6, maybe, or king h8?
yes.
There's a lot of good moves, yeah?
Many good ideas, yeah.
Actually, I'm worried about knight takes d5 at some moment. I don't know, if knight c6, can white sacrifice the knight on d5?
Probably not, okay. We can take.
Queen d5?
Okay, queen d5. Knight takes e5 is possible, knight d takes e5.
Knight d takes e5. Knight d takes e5, and if white takes on e5.
No, knight takes e5 and bishop on e5 check.
Oh, I missed this move. But is it so clear everything? And king b1? Can you play rook d8?
Yeah, it's interesting.
And knight takes c6. I don't know. I'm thinking to take on c6 here. No, we are both blundering. Rook d5 and rook takes d5.
Oh, you can take on f7.
On f7, sorry, it was my blunder. Yeah, of course. Rook d8, queen f7, and game over. So, what black can play? Sacrifice the exchange, maybe? Or just queen takes, maybe just queen takes e5
takes e5, yeah.
and bishop f5, yeah?
Bishop f5
Or e6.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Bishop on f1 dead, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bad bishop.
Yeah, it's a nice position for black. Nice position. So queen a5. Queen a5, definitely this was a big mistake. Big mistake. So black cannot leave the with the king side. Okay, one more time. This is the current position, and king h8 was played. G takes f5. Queen d8 back.
Yeah, okay.
But probably it's already too late.
He's realized that queen a5 was a mistake, and it's too late. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the current position. This is the current position. Something is wrong with our transmission. Yeah, no, actually, black resigned. White won the game. White won the game. G takes f5, I think, is the last move in the game. And really nothing to do. Nothing to do, f6 is coming. So we have the first result of Masters tournament. International master from India, Akash, beat international master from United Arab Emirates, Sultan Ibrahim. So 1-0, crushing game. Was nothing to do. Nothing to do with against White's attack on the king side. Let's go back to the game of Grandmaster Salem. He plays with white pieces. With white pieces, board number 16. Board number 16. Board number 16. And the current position after, yeah, we left here after bishop e2, e takes f3, e takes f3, e takes f3, and soon we hope to see the moves. Yeah, this is the board 62 or 60. Yeah, so the first, the first result of the tournament. The first result of the tournament, board number 62. International Master Akash beat International Master, sorry, Sultan Ibrahim. All right. So back to board 16. Back to board 16. Grandmaster Salem plays with with Indian player Sankalp Gupta. Yeah, so he took by rook actually. We didn't expect this, yeah? Rook takes f3, knight e5, and rook g3. Well. So white prepared to attack on the king side. Yeah, maybe bishop c3, rook to f1, and maybe one day to break with e4.
Yeah, h5 was played.
And h5, no. So both players intending to attack on the king side. Rook g5.
Very interesting.
Yeah, not every day you can see such maneuver. Rook came from f1, f3, g3, and now g5. And now g5. Alright, so first idea is black cannot play g6 because bishop takes h5. Yeah? This is probably white's idea, winning the h5 pawn. Okay, rook g5. What about the move knight to g4? Trying to trap the rook. h3.
h3.
And can black sacrifice the knight? I don't know, this is too much. This is too much to sacrifice the knight and to open the h file. To f file.
Or maybe the idea double attack from queen f6.
Alright, very good. Rook h6, now h4 was played. And if white takes the knight, queen f6, yeah. Double attack. Attacking both rooks. Okay. But black played the move h4. h4. Interesting idea. Okay, h4 and h4. So white can play rook f1, bring the rook, or maybe white can take on b6 and rook a7. What do you think?
You just bring the black bishop closer to his side after bishop c8. I guess it's nothing to do on
Yeah.
d7.
Yeah, so probably this is wrong idea because taking rook a7, bishop comes to c8, and it's good for black, and really white rooks looks a little bit disconnected.
Yeah, rook on g5, rook on a7.
Yeah, so instead of a b6, maybe rook f1. Yeah, rook f1 followed by bishop c3, bringing the rook.
Yes, looks more human. With rook f1 looks more human.
All right, so in a couple of minutes we'll go for a short break, but just before going to the break, let's go through all the games. Board number one.
He played rook g6.
Yeah, Le Quang Lem is facing some problems, and probably white is better. Okay, maybe the first surprising result on board number one. Board number two, Richard Rapport plays with white pieces, yeah, and he got better position. Board number three, Grandmaster Cheparinov is better in the end game against FIDE Master Aliyev Ravan from Azerbaijan. Board number four, Van Hao is a clear pawn up. And board number five, Fedoseev got better position against woman Grandmaster Padmini Root from India. And yeah, we saw the first result of the round. Board number 62, International Master Akash from India won the game against International Master Ibrahim Sultan from United Arab Emirates. In the other games of UAE players, International Master Omar Nauman got a very interesting position. So his last move, Queen b4, looks a little bit risky.
But still playable.
Yeah.
He is not losing the queen.
He's not losing the king. This is the very important
So the important
thing.
was once again, okay, knight e4, rook f1, what I mentioned.
Yeah.
What we analyzed, rook f1, it's maybe this refutation of what is knight on b4.
And knight b4.
Yeah.
Jumping with the knights.
Forcing white to do something with the queens. Yeah.
So if queen e2, maybe
Yes,
or take on c5 or take on e2.
Yeah.
All right. So Omar Nauman is doing quite good. Yeah.
I can explain. It's very easy thing. If you have in such complex position more time, you are doing well, and position not losing. So he's keeping his time. His opponent has less time, and that means he's calculated better than his opponent.
So thank you, Konstantin, for joining us in our studio.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, and we are going to short break. Stay with us. We'll come shortly to our live coverage here from Abu Dhabi. our live coverage from Abu Dhabi Chess Festival 2018. And this year is 25th edition of International Chess Festival, probably one of the biggest chess events in Asia and all over the world, with more than 500 participants, with 3 main tournaments, Master, Open and Junior, and a lot of side events on a free day. Simultaneous display, of course the Blitz tournament open for everyone, no matter of your age or rating, family tournament, senior tournament, and Homeland Protector tournament. So this year we have a lot of grandmasters, 52 men grandmaster in master section with 5 players, over 2,700 players. Le Quang Lem from Vietnam, Rapport Richard from Hungary, Cheparinov Ivan representing now Georgia, Van Hao from China, the winner of Abu Dhabi Chess Festival 2016, and Grandmaster Vladimir Fedosiev, a young Russian prodigy, Grandmaster Dubov from Russia too. And we have also the winner of 2017 edition, Grandmaster Amin Basim from Egypt. This is the top board. We just saw the top board of the tournament. You can follow us on chess24.com, also an official website, adchessfestival.ae. Follow us on Twitter with a lot of news, on our Facebook page with pictures, videos, and also we have live coverage on YouTube channel of Abu Dhabi Chess Club page. The total price of this tournament is $79,000, a record prize fund of Abu Dhabi Chess Festival, and the winner of Master tournament will get $13,000. And back to our live coverage. So after 2 hours of play, the games, we have only one result so far. Board number 62, Indian international master Akash beat local international master Sultan Ibrahim in a French defense. The other games are still playing. All right. So this is the current position on board number one, and really White's position looks great, looks fantastic, especially the knight on d6. A nice outpost, White's bishop's pair, and well, I would say really leading top grandmaster Le Quang Lem is in trouble. So rook g3, yeah, this is the current position after rook f3, queen h4, rook g3, queen e7, bishop c4. I don't know. Really, black's position is difficult. Maybe black should sacrifice the exchange back by playing b6. And if white plays 6-6, rook takes d6. Yeah, this is the idea of giving back the exchange. Pawn takes d6, queen takes d6, but after the move b5, I believe white keep advantage. So this is the current position. I don't know really. And the opening knight d4 is a strange. Actually, knight d4 was more or less okay. Bishop g4, taking the material, taking the exchange, was really strange decision. Really strange decision of Grandmaster Le Quang Lem. Well, white is down to 35 minutes and black 49. But the position is not about time. Some more information about our tournament. So every day the round starts at 5 p.m. local time, except on Friday, there will be a free day and a very big blitz tournament. So if you are in Abu Dhabi or in UAE, in United Arab Emirates, please join the tournament. The blitz open is it's open for everyone. Also, you can participate in a simultaneous display against one of the leading grandmaster of the tournament. And Saturday we have a double round. The morning round starts at 10 o'clock and the afternoon round starts in 6 p.m. So busy week with chess, with a lot of interesting games. So let's move to board number 2. Board number 2, Grandmaster Rapport from Hungary plays with FIDE master from Jordan, Samhouri. Yeah, we are still on board number 1. We're still number 1, and yeah, this is the board number 16, Grandmaster Salem. Grandmaster Salem plays with Sankalp Gupta from India, when we just saw the very interesting maneuver, rook to f3, g3, g5, g5. But there is no more rook on g5. So after h4, white took on b5, on b6, taking on b6, b5, rook g6. Well, I'm not that sure about the move order. No, probably the move order was different. Rook a7 is the last move played by white. Yeah, this is the current position. So we are going now for a short break. Stay with us, and in a couple of minutes we'll be back soon.